Hello. Wet weather has been spilling in from the west over the course of Wednesday, and it stays cloudy and damp in many places overnight with a strong breeze. That breeze coming in from the southwest, and it means that it's western areas that will be particularly wet, especially over the higher ground of western Scotland, northern England, Wales through Wednesday evening. Northern Ireland drier for a time before another pulse of wet weather arrives here after midnight. Meanwhile, either side of this area of rainfall, not a great deal of wet weather, colder conditions returning to the north of Scotland with a few wintry showers. And for central, southern and eastern parts of England, South Wales, largely dry, just a few bits and bobs of rain. But otherwise, a strong wind for all places, keeping the air well stirred, keeping temperatures from falling particularly far, 9 or 10 Celsius on the cards as we start off Thursday. Just colder conditions to the far north behind this weather front. A soggy start to the day for central, southern Scotland, Northern Ireland and especially northwest England, parts of Wales where there are weather warnings in force. And cold air digs in as the front clears, meaning some hill snow likely for southern Scotland, northern England. By the afternoon, much of the rain has cleared through. As it clears, it turns particularly active along this weather front. You can see a narrow band of heavy rainfall, a whipping up of the winds and a dig of very cold air as it clears through. So some lively weather to come for the second half of the day in the southeast. Behind that, brighter skies, but feeling much colder in the strong wind coming from the west. And those showers will be of a wintry nature. Sleet and snow over the hills. Perhaps even some snow to lower levels in some of the heavier downpours for northern and western Scotland. Hail and thunder couldn't be ruled out as well. That's the air mass that we're in on Thursday night. Cold but clear in many places, further showers into the north and the west. And a frost forming in one or two sheltered spots for southeastern areas where it will be a clear start to Friday. Some easing of the winds for a time, but then more unsettled weather on the way for Friday. You can see this low pushing up to Iceland, but it's a deepening area of low pressure, and it means we've got tight isobars across the map for Friday itself, and these weather fronts toppling in across northern parts of Britain will bring a thickening of the cloud and outbreaks of rain. Snow over the tops of the hills there for Scotland, but otherwise it's mainly rainfall, and again it'll be heaviest over western hills of Scotland, and then for Northern Ireland, Northern England and eventually North Wales. That wind will be strongest in the north as well, gales around exposed coast, but also as the wind bounces over the hills we can expect 55, 65 mile/hour gusts. Southeast Scotland, northeast England, wind warning in force, and as the rain continues to pile in across the higher ground of the Pennines, for example, well, there could be ongoing issues through the rest of this week and into the weekend. Yellow warning for rain. But a different story for South Wales, central, southern England, where it's largely dry on Friday. After that bright but chilly start, we see an increase in cloud cover, but still some sunny spells coming through, albeit with a keen breeze accompanying them. 10 or 11 in the south, and actually it's fairly mild further north as well, given the cloud cover and that strong wind. And then the weekend continues the highly changeable theme. It looks likely to be wet and windy at times, but probably not on the scale of the past two weekends. Of course, always worth paying close attention to the forecast and any updates to any warnings, and you can do that by following the Met Office on social media, heading to the Met Office website and downloading the app. Bye-bye.